For a bank, there's always the question, what do you do with the money? You basically is not yours, but is from the investor, from the depositor. And then the question is, what do you do with the profit? Well, in a way, the answer for a bank is very simple. What belongs to the depositor should go back to the depositor with a certain interest rate, what is very low today, but still. And the shareholder gets a dividend. A dividend is part of the return the banks make. If there is no profit, the shareholder will not have a dividend. The founders 35 years ago felt that there is a financial instrument needed, a bank, to provide the opportunity for people to deal more consciously with their money. So money is not just a commodity, it's something with energy, what can enable things. Triodos Bank has been growing. Profit is, of course, not our first priority. Our first priority is really to have impact, having the possibility through money to change the world. And the change is going through people. Money as such cannot do anything. It's always connected to people. So we are looking for entrepreneurs, social entrepreneurs, people who want to contribute to the quality of life for other people. We include the planet, the animals, the plants, the whole natural world. We have a responsibility for that. We're also part of nature. Economy and ecology are very close together. Actually, cannot talk about economy without ecology. And I feel we have sort of separated the two. I think more and more people can see that there is an enormous momentum going on. We have reached limits from a planet perspective. We cannot continue to grow as we did. We have to do it more consciously, more smart. I think as we continue to operate as we do today, as society, I'm afraid we will have more crashes. And a crash or a crisis we can learn from. And yes, we have always another chance. I'm quite optimistic about that. But we have to be careful that something like our planet has been taken into account in a much more conscious way. There is not an endless number of opportunities. I think they're far too early. Normally this is end of March, early April. So it's the climate. The crash of 2008 did not really change the bank. So listing on the stock exchange is not an option for Triodos Bank. We want to know who our shareholders are. We want not anonymous shareholders. And we don't want people to speculate on shares of Triodos Bank. We found a way of having a community of investors. There are 35,000 people and institutions, foundations, who have invested in Triodos Bank. We know who is selling, we know who is buying, we know who our shareholders are. It was really the close relation to the real economy what made the bank strong. People in the different countries we operate in ask us all sorts of questions. Most of the questions are about our mission, not about profit. And that is something different than talking about the development of a share price. But it's not just about the opinion of the bank. It's also about having the dialogue with the people who support you. The right balance between profit, planet and people. For some people, nuclear power is actually quite sustainable. We don't finance nuclear power because we feel it's not sustainable development. You have to explain why we think that's true. We do not finance genetically modified food. We think the world can be fed with organic food. We would probably go more for wind energy, solar energy. That are real discussions. And we believe in that long-term, much more, I would say, integrated approach than just being a little bit greener. When there was a crisis, we got more depositors, we got more shareholders. We didn't need the money from the taxpayers. So you could really see that there was sincere trust. And that trust can only be there when you're serious about transparency and accountability. The planet is not anymore superfluous, but we have to take care of it. It's something what is limited. It's something what we are eating up. We highly underestimate our possibilities to destroy, and we should much more look at our possibilities to create, to live in balance, to make things work for the longer term. That is the real change what has to happen in our economic thinking. It is very curious that on the one side there is an overflow of money. There is so much liquidity around. It's going around the world. It's not connected to the real economy. And at the same time, we know there is much more money needed in healthcare. There is much more needed in, well, really have less inequality between people in the world. I think negative interest rates are a fascinating development at the moment. What does it tell us? There is one thing that you put your money somewhere, you save your money, and you actually have to pay for put it somewhere. At the same time, if you look at more from a macro point of view, you could also say we have created so much money, but actually we don't know what to do with it. We cannot connect actually all this money what is available with entrepreneurship, and that's a new challenge. Negative interest rates confronts us with the fact that the value of money is not absolute. The value of money depends on the people who want to do something with it. If nobody does anything, money has no value. So we have to find a new balance between money and entrepreneurship. There are so many things we know we have to invest in education, in healthcare, in arts, in helping the planet, the quality of the soil so we can feed the world. The acidity of the oceans is a real issue. The risk that all this liquidity going around the world and have not a connection with the real economy anymore is a much bigger risk than you really invest that money, maybe as a donation even, in concrete improvements of the quality of life. The other thing is give nature a value is such a fundamental gift. So we should really maybe give back more instead of taking it. But what is interesting that many depositors actually have allocated the interest rates they received in the past to foundations and said, well, I want to support good causes. And I feel, beside the fact that we need to invest and have a return on investment, that there is also a need in society for gift money. That gift money is needed for new initiatives who do not bring an immediate return to the investor, but maybe bring a return to society at large. Maybe a return to people we even don't know in the world. The gift money return, so to speak, I think is a return we have forgotten about. It's something where you give money away without strings attached. And I'm sometimes worried that we move to a world where everything is commercialized. We brought back everything to a transaction with a price. And interesting enough, if we continue to do that, then in the end we are completely alone. Nobody is helping each other anymore. We only do things because of a commercial return. The whole notion of cooperation, of bringing people together, doing things together, that is something we can bank on.